All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Monday, September 26th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Great to see Warren and Andrea and Carol and all of us inside the live trading room, Jim included. Voila, there we go. And great to see all of us back on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. Folks, we have to be relatively quick with our time here. We have the Phase 2 stock course concluding later on this afternoon at 3:05 Eastern Time. We're going to cap off this month's Phase 2 classes by talking about studying and planning ahead. Not journaling. We know how to journal at this point. We know why we need to journal, but how we could best study the trades that we've taken, whether we've journaled them or perhaps trades that we didn't even take, stocks that we didn't even look at. How could we best understand after the fact as to why or how a stock made a move or the move that it made? So we're going to look to talk all about studying principles and planning ahead over time, just coming up later on this afternoon in the Phase 2 class. But great to see Andre and Steve as well joining us. Folks, let's go right to it. So right now, the markets, I was hopeful to see a bounce at some point across the late morning, early afternoon. I was hopefully get it right off of like 366-ish, and then ended up just snapping right back down. Beautiful downtrend. Hey, there's been a couple of good shorts, but man, it's been some good longs out there, right? TCRT being one of them. Stock's up nearly 27% right now, but it's right near the highs. I haven't gotten my hands on this trade at all today. Maybe perhaps across the afternoon we will, or otherwise we'll just study this trade, at least seeing why it made the move that it made in class. But right now, if you're not joining me in class, if you're trading across the afternoon into the close, this still looks really strong. Just simple to say, but this is exactly where you would want to see a stock like TCRT right now. But again, there's a couple of other stocks that look like this, though. I was going to type it in, but it's actually number 3 still at this point, still holding strong. The MLCO, Chinese-based entertainment casino gaming stock, ended up coming out with not the company, but stock ended up making a nice move early in pre-market off of news that China would be easing, Macau would be easing their COVID-19 travel restrictions. And with that, led to a big pop right away after the market opened up. I did not jump in on this trade myself right away after the open. I was focused on a couple of other stocks, a couple stocks that we'll talk about briefly in a bit. But hey, late to the party, but still able to grab a good piece of the pie. Ended up seeing this make a nice squeeze back up, 667. I ended up jumping in from the mid-morning right before class, ended up pushing up higher from there. Well, look what happened just a moment ago. And that's what we'll talk about later on this afternoon in class. So that's all I'll say about this trade from this point forward. If you want to hear more about this stock, join me in the Phase 2 stock course class at 3 o'clock Eastern today. But for right now, hey, we're going to put this on our watch list for the afternoon. Really nice trade right now, right off that blue line at 667. Pretty simple trade, actually. So we'll add that to our list. This LVTX is just a damn tease. This may look to make the big break over 5, and the VWAP set at 497 here. But it just looks otherwise pretty flat. It's traded a lot of volume today, at least compared to what it's done on a day-to-day prior. I don't know what the short float looks like or the float looks like altogether, but I mean, when a stock like this is trading like less than 10,000 shares pretty much every day of the week, which is extremely poor, it's trading like 3,600 times the amount of volume it's trading on a normal basis. This stock is more exhausted right now than anything. Last thing I would want to have anyone do is jump into this trade off the next test of 5, only to have this thing get halted on the way down. So I'm not fully sold on this stock yet. LVTX, it was a nice trade from pre-market. Had a couple of bounces to it earlier right off that 450, but I haven't partaken in this stock since the morning. So, it ran up pretty nicely here, but otherwise, we'll see what else is out there. We'll see if this can make a better move by the end of this meeting. How about that? All right, TCRT on our list, MLCO on our list. Let's go really quickly now across the gainer side here. Try and be quick. HLGN, it's like inching up a little bit, but like a little too slow for our liking here, really. SHPH ended up having a nice pop from early this morning after the open, little pop heading into the early afternoon. This stock we're really familiar with because we saw this thing as a new IPO, like scream all the way up to like 120, then scream all the way back down as it came back down sub 10. So, it's trading actually decent volume per minute right now. Spreads aren't terrible either, actually. That's like the first I'm realizing that, because this stock has been on like a 10-20 cent spread the last couple of weeks off its IPO. So, the Chart looks a little rugged, a little choppy. I'll write this down for right now, though. I'll come back to this at the end. I'm an equal opportunity trader, folks. If I saw this thing on a 20-cent spread a week and a half ago and I hated it then, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to hate it now. If the spreads are better on this, then maybe we'll give it a shot, but this is just on a rugged move here across the day. So that's not necessarily what I like to see. All right. Beat stock has been teasing us the last week or so here. Ended up having a big pop this morning, whatever day this was, like the 16th, 15th. Ended up leading to a nice slow move across the afternoon from what I recall. It's actually right off those highs currently. Right now it looks like it's slowed down a little bit, but it's still near the highs. So for right now, I don't mind at least putting this on our list, kind of near the bottom, probably by the end of it all. It looks a little weak here, but we'll look to see if it can make the move back up towards the iceberg order, about 14,000 shares, right around there off of 250. All right, so beat. We had the PLSC trade. PLSC was a nice move from before, but when the wheels fell off on this thing, it sure fell off. So ended up, the volume dying off is what I refer to there. Ended up having a false breakout right off of 210, came right back down. That's not a good sign to begin with. So with seeing it where it's at right now, the run is done definitely for this PLSC. PPSI. Stock, nice little chart here, moving up pretty steadily across the afternoon so far. It's off the highs. I wish it was trading more volume per minute, and I wish the order book was a little bit more liquid too on the bid. But chart looks good. I'll put this on our watch list as well. I'll put this above the beat trade if we're trying to rank these. LVTX from early this morning, but after that, geez, nasty shake like this. You normally write it off, so it ended up going lower and then came back up pretty nicely, but this was a nasty drop here. I wasn't a part of that, thankfully. So move on from this trade. This thing's been all over the map the last week and a half, 2 weeks as well. Maybe keep it in mind as a side list stock tomorrow morning if there's really good direction to it. But otherwise, I'd pass. Las Vegas Sands, LVS. We had this kind of, towards the bottom end of our watch list here heading into the open. Made a little move, nice little move early this morning. Spreads got a lot better, at least, thank God. But right now there's just flat trend there. So pass there. Probably same to be said on Win, I'd assume. Yeah, very similar move. All these gaming casino stocks are probably looking the same there. So if they're not really trending up that well at this point, probably going to, write them off. Sava, where's Chuck for this one? Sava took a little while to get the gears going on it, honestly. I mean, it moved up a little bit early in the morning, but had a much better pop heading into the early to mid-afternoon once it broke high of the day, roughly off that 44 level. Beautiful run, right? From 44 basically up towards 47.50 and above, but I'd be remiss to not put this on our list, right? I mean, it's still looking relatively strong, kind of similar to the beat trade in the sense, it's a lower high, but it's still relatively close towards that peak off 47.67. I wish it was trading a little more volume per minute this time, but I'll kind of put that towards the bottom of our list right now. List is always subject to change, folks. Keep that in mind, especially during this meeting. If we have a lot more stocks that look a lot better, then I'll probably bump a couple towards the bottom off. I mean, hey, look at Lee. Look at LI, right? And look at XPEV, right? XPEV was a stock we were following from earlier this morning. There's our 1445, the opening bell print from this morning for the week. And, led to a nice little move even before that, off 1420-ish, essentially. I could put XPEV and Lee on our main list. I like these more than a couple of these on the bottom already. So that's where I say if I have a big watch list by the end of this all, I'll scratch off the Sava and the beat trade if need be. MLCO making a bit of a shake back down right now, so just be careful there. I meant to click on another stock here, Chegg, CHGG. Scanners refreshed there. So, hey, probably not going to expect to see a whole lot more on the way up with the market steadily dropping here heading into the afternoon. That 364 level is being tested again. I wrote before off the last leg up here just at 2 o'clock. It needed to run off that 364. The fact it's there now, honestly, that doesn't look too good. So, I'm sure we're going to find more on the loser side right now. Let me just jump to UVXY while I'm at it. right? We had this on our watch list for the open, dropped off at first, but led to a nice bounce right around that reversal time, 10:15, 10:30, at the highs. So in anticipation of the market potentially dropping lower, you want to follow this at least for right now, the UVXY ETF. While I'm at it, look at gold. Wow, gold dropped off quite a bit after the open. Had a little bounce first, but then went pretty much lopsided there. Dropped back down to 16. So right now, we're not going to follow gold as much. Not showing us good direction there going up. All right, let's hop over to the loser side here, folks. Let's see what's on that side of the field, and then we'll close out from there. Bunch of stuff that's hard to borrow, that's like either trading crap volume like ATXI, PRST, or otherwise it's hard to borrow. You can't short it. First one I'll jump to is ACMR. I'll tell you, I mean, as far as like a direction and stock at the low of the day and a stock that doesn't have a terrible spread, that would fit the bill, fit the shoe. But it's like a little spotty chart there right now. Obviously, the more volume it's trading, and the better. So, not fully sold on this just yet. Seeing like a really big drop off into the afternoon. Let's see what else we got. Got a lot more that's down that proverbial 5% or more that I look for. So, let's see. JNUG ETF. IVR not trading as much more volume than the other one. Hey, all right, I'll rip through our side list here, perhaps, folks. Maybe not, a lot of stocks down that 5% that we normally look for, but maybe a couple stocks off the lows that we could cherry pick. NEO here not doing much. Pass on that. AMC, if you can get the shares to short AMC, this looks like a really good trade for you. I'll put this on our watch list for those that can. I know it's hard to borrow on my platform. I haven't been able to get shares to short AMC in a little while, but it's above $5 still, so maybe it's shortable for some folks on other platforms. Right off of 7, whole number level. Great direction on the way down right now. SPY just broke below 364 pretty quickly. So, hey, if there's some good shorts here at this point, let me know. Looking through some airlines like AAL, cruise lines like NCLH, neither looking that great. Nothing really looking too good or fast or volume based as a short. UAL slumping off a little bit. For $31 stock, I don't find it as worth it. NVAX from Mark. NVAX has been really weak the last week and a half, 2 weeks, or I mean, for God knows how long it's been weak. But it's off the lows. It's not trading a whole lot of volume per minute right now, Mark. That's the thing on it. I hope it breaks down. If you're not joining me in class and if you're looking to follow a few trades, I hope this works out as a great short. It's tradable. Don't get me wrong there, but want something trading even more volume per minute than that. So got to be picky and choosy this time of the day, folks. Mitch asking about PPSI. If you haven't already went over it, the PPSI trade, which we did cover a moment ago, that is pushing back up pretty nicely again. So that's already on our watch list for right now. Goes to show again with the market slumping back down. I mean, not everything's dropping off, is it? So there's always going to be a couple of opportunities out there that we'll need to really fish through pretty intently. But that's what myself and Rich and Fausto are for inside the live trading room. I want to see what GSUN looks like. I mean, back from Friday afternoon, this thing only dropped off a lot more after the open into the late morning. It's just flat now. You don't want to be stuck holding on to a trade like that at this point. All right, folks, I think that may just about wrap things up for me here. I don't see much else on my Benzinga Pro screen. I'm just briefly looking at, seeing if there's anything else that's dropping off at the market that's like really good short. So for right now, I like what we got. Let me just jump back to the two I kind of put on the side list for right now, that LVTX. It's a setup, but I'd be really reluctant here at first because I feel like a false breakout's coming. I'm sure Rich will call it out if it does make that break over 5 at least. We'll see where it goes from that point. SHPH at least, I mean, it dropped off a little bit. Spread starting to open up a little bit more right now. So, for that reason, I'm going to write it off. If it pushes back up, maybe. But for right now, we'll leave off without it. All right, folks, for all of us on Facebook Live and YouTube, I appreciate you folks sticking with me each and every day throughout the whole day today. I believe Fausto should be back tomorrow morning for you folks. If you have any questions, feel more than free to send it over through email. I always like to post my email here at the end of these streams, josh@c2trading.com. Going to refill up on water before I start class coming up at 3:05 Eastern Time. If you're interested in joining our live trading room, that is for all of us in social media, just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below right there to sign up. But for Leda, Mark, Andre, Steve, Warren, Andrea, Jim and Kevin and all of us live inside the trading room, I look forward to talking to you folks coming up later on in class. James says Red Solo Cup. Working from home today. I mean, I think I permanently work from home. So I got a Red Solo Cup here right now. It's water, though. It's water. I'll talk to you soon, folks. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it.